Hi, everyone, and welcome to the premiere episode of In the News, a fresh series right here on Women Talk Construction. I'm Angela, and I am beyond thrilled to be kicking off this episode with my incredible co host, Christy Powell. We are here to bring you the latest in construction news, housing trends, innovative products, and bold designs. Everything that's shaping the world we build and live in. And we are going to have some guests on these shows too. So check them out as well.
Absolutely. Hey there, listeners. I'm Christy. I'm just as pumped as Angela to dive into this with you. Each episode will unpack what's making big waves in the construction industry. We're going to share our takes and bring in some top notch experts to give us the real scoop. Whether you're swinging a hammer, designing blueprints, or just loving learning about this stuff, we've got you covered.
Exactly, Christy. Today we're starting with a big topic, and it's sustainable housing solutions. With climate concerns and ongoing housing crunch, it's a topic that everyone's right now talking about, right? I mean, it's
Yes.
so important. So, what's been catching your attention now lately in the news with this topic?
Well, I've been really hooked on the story about modular homes making a big comeback. There's an article floating around, super trending, about how companies are using prefab designs to slash costs and build faster. I saw one that said modular construction can cut build times up to 50%. Angela,
Wow.
um, do you think this could be the future of housing, or do you think it's more of a band-aid for the shortage?
That's a great question. I think it definitely has huge potential. The speed is a game changer. Imagine getting families into homes in half the time, right?
Mhm.
I read about a project in California where modular units now account for over 20% of new housing permits. 20%.
It's a big number.
Wow. But I wonder about the durability and the customization, right? Because, you have families and they might need to be customized. Can these homes stand the test of time, but yet still feel personal?
Well, personalization is really important. It is important to
Mhm.
me. When you spend a lot of time in your space, I think that's going to be a real fair point. Speed's awesome, but quality can also take a back seat with speed. I've noticed a little more talk about sustainable materials in these modular builds, which is interesting, like bamboo flooring or recycled steel frames. But it's not just about fast; it's about smart.
Mhm.
Have you seen any cool products popping up in your news feed?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, all the time on Instagram. I have new things all the time. But there's this new installation made with recycled denim. I have got to see this.
I
Anyone
do
out
too.
there that has pictures, please show it to us. Please send it. Get our website and let us see it. It's eco-friendly. It cuts down on noise, which that's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
I could definitely see this in trendy in urban lofts, right? With everyone taking all these old manufacturing builds and changing them into lofts, and they need that. And then there's this other thing that's solar integrated roofing tiles. I also want to see that picture too, if anyone has them. And
Mm.
I would actually like to see the person that's on the roof installing them at that time, because I really don't know how that could be done, but I'm sure there's a way. So they're sleek. These roofing tiles are sleek and they generate power and they blend right into the design. It's stuff like this that gets you and me excited, right?
Mhm.
About
Yeah.
sustainable housing.
Okay, I'm still stuck on denim insulation. That's wild, but I love it. How cool would it be to have denim on your walls on the interior of your house? It I like denim, so I'd be fine with it. Not everybody would love that. Those solar tiles, though, sound like the perfect mix of form and function, and we're seeing a lot of that in the industry. It's amazing how construction's evolving to tackle both the environment and aesthetics. Speaking of evolution, another angle I've seen in the news is tiny homes tying into this sustainability push. What's your take on that trend, Angela?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in just a second. Actually, I wanted just to mention one thing that, there are leather walls too. Have you seen
Mhm,
leather
I have
walls?
seen those, yes.
Yes, yes, we've actually installed them before. They're pretty cool. But
That
okay,
is cool.
going back to tiny homes. I I love Instagram knows that I love tiny homes because my dream house is to be on a river with a tiny home, or probably a bigger than tiny home on that river so I can hear it and I can have
Take a
all the
nap,
perks and all the nice
take a
stuff in
nap,
it. Yeah,
yes.
without having a big space to clean.
Mhm,
So, I think they're popping up everywhere, right? Especially in
yes,
cities where space is tight. I saw a report about a community in Oregon, dozen of tiny homes, all under 400 square feet, built with reclaimed materials. I mean, how awesome is that?
that is
Reclaimed
very cool.
materials. It's affordable, they're low impact living, but I do wonder, can these scale up to solve bigger housing problems, or are they kind of just a niche?
I do think that it's a niche that's growing.
Mhm.
Um, I read about a company pairing tiny homes with modular tech, and that's a stackable unit type thing that you can add on to as needed. How cool would that be for, like, new home buyers, right, that don't have a family yet? Great space, but then you can add on.
Mhm.
It's like Legos for housing, and that's what the article said. But you're right, scaling up, that could be a little tricky. However, it's still cool to see how creative people are getting with sustainability.
Oh, yeah. I think I've actually seen those too on my Instagram feed where you can actually add more to the space and have
Mhm.
more windows and, um I love them. Actually, I think I saw one and I sent it to my friend Michael Allen. I said, "Can you design me one of these someday?" So, but for sure, creativity is the name of the game, right? I mean, that's how it is.
Especially right now.
Exactly. And to dive even deeper into this, we've got actually a treat for everyone. We've lined up a few expert guests to weigh in on how modular homes and sustainable designs are shaking up the industry. So, Christy, who do we have coming up?
We've got audio clips from industry pros who will break it all down for us. They'll share their take on where modular housing and sustainability are headed, straight from the source. Audrey, Rory, let's play it.
How cool! And they were actually on our episode too, so you have got to check them out. They're wonderful. They're rock star women in construction. So wow, those were those were power packed and so insightful. I really loved how they tied modular builds to long term sustainability goals. It's not it's we all know it's not a quick fix, right?
Mhm.
I mean, this is something that's going to take a lot of planning for the future to kind of build it out. But, what hit you about these conversations, Christy?
So I'm with you on that. Future
Mm.
focus really stands out. I love the future. I've always been that way. I also like how the cost savings trickles down to buyers with these opportunities. It makes me think we could actually make housing more accessible and affordable, which is huge. What surprised you about what we've learned about the modular housing?
Yeah. Well, for me, I think that, of course, collaboration by highlighting builders, designers, and even the policymakers working together is so important. It's not just a construction thing, right?
Hmm.
It's not just construction. It's the whole ecosystem. That's what's driving these innovations from denim installations to leather walls to stackable tiny homes.
So true. It's like the industry's hitting a sweet spot: sustainability, affordability, and teamwork. And of course, we could talk about this all day, but I think we've given our listeners plenty to chew on for today. What do you think?
Definitely agree. That's a lot of power packed conversation, right? Um, this has been such a huge, fun, deep dive into sustainable housing today. We'll keep the conversation going in the future episodes, so stay tuned to more in the news right here on Women Talk Construction.
Yes, and we want to hear from you. Tell us what the conversation topics you're dying to explore. What are they? New products, design trends, whatever's on your mind. Drop us a message on our website and let's keep this rolling.
Yes. Thank you for joining us for our first ever In the News episode. It's been a blast kicking this off with you, and we can't wait to bring you more stories from the construction world.
Until next time, keep building, keep dreaming, and keep listening.